Welcome, sailors. We're going to tell you a story about following. It's about Andrew and his brothers Simon and Peter. They live here near the Sea of Galilee and fish for a living.
That's right, and they grew up in this town of Bethsaida, which means fish. How many of you like to go fishing? Glad to know you like to go fishing.
Fishing is hard work. Even if it's bad weather, they still have to fish.
Yeah, and when they're finished, they have to work their nets and boats. Woo!
Oh yeah, their job depends on them. Lots of time, they even fish all night because that's when they catch the most. But then they use torches to attract fish.
In the morning, they bring the fish ashore to sell or dry so they can be sold in Jerusalem.
Most of the time, Andrew and Simon Peter fish from boats. They row out to sea to deep water and pull up the sails by hand. We each take part of the net and make a semicircle and drop the net into the water.
They wait a while, pull up the net, and haul in fish. It's really hard to lift the heavy net full of fish. It's awful when the nets have no fish in them.
Sometimes the brothers use the smaller net and fish from the shore. It has weights. They throw it over the water and then they pull up the net. You don't get as many fish, but you don't need a boat.
But it's the only way to catch fish that stay in shallow water.
One day, Andrew and Simon Peter were fishing along the shore. A man walked toward them and something unusual happened.
When they reached them, he said, "Come with me, and I will show you how to catch people." Do you know what they did? That's right, they left their nets on shore and followed him.
Something inside them made them want to follow him. He said his name was Jesus.
Jesus, Peter, and Andrew went down the shore a little farther. They saw the brothers James and John, who fished with them. Their crew was in the boat, getting the nets ready to go out fishing.
Guess what? Jesus called to them, and right away they joined the others and followed Jesus. They left their father and crew right there in the boat.
From the first time they met Jesus, there was something special about him. But this was only the beginning of amazing things that happened when they were with Jesus.
On another day, Jesus was talking by the shore of Galilee. There was a big crowd around him. Peter and Andrew were washing their nets. After fishing all night, they didn't catch anything.
Jesus got into Peter's boat and asked him to push it out a ways. Jesus sat there and kept talking to the crowd about God.
When Jesus was done talking, he told Peter to push the boat into deeper water. Jesus told Peter to put the net down and catch some fish.
Does everybody know that Jesus was a carpenter? Well, he was, and Peter figured that he was nice, but he wasn't a fisherman. Peter thought, what could he know about fishing? They were already tired and wanted to rest.
I know. They knew fish weren't in deep water during the day. After fishing there all their lives, what Jesus said didn't make any sense, but they let their nets down anyway.
Wow, they caught so many fish, their nets almost broke. They called for help and filled 2 boats so full of fish they almost sank.
Just think what they would have missed if they hadn't followed Jesus and done what he told them to do.
Peter fell on his knees in front of Jesus and called him Lord. Jesus told them they would be fishing for people instead of fish. They pulled their boats to shore, left everything, and followed him.
Following Jesus is not always easy. For Andrew and Peter, they had to leave what they knew, fishing, and let Jesus teach them what they needed to know.
They learned so much, but best of all, they grew to love Jesus more and more.
Jesus has called us. He is calling you too.
Will you follow him?